Let's vamonos.
Hi, my name is Joanna Lopez, owner of Texas Premium Financial Services. We are here to offer the community our bookkeeping services, CFO services, and tax preparation for your business. If you have any questions regarding the services, please give us a call at 832-990-0403. Thank you.
Hello, hello. I'm your host, Let's Vamonos. I'm your host, Desiree, and this is Let's Vamonos Live. Y'all, super excited today. Hola, bienvenidos. Is that how you say it, right? I'm practicing my Spanish, y'all. So I'm doing my best, but we have our wonderful guest, Baldemar Rodriguez. Yes, sir. Thank you so much. And we're excited because we're here at the FRIDA Festival. And if you're not familiar with the FRIDA Festival, we're here at the 18th annual FRIDA Festival, located here at 1900 Kane Street, Houston, Texas. Y'all, we're so happy to be here, and we've got some wonderful guests today to talk about the community, partnerships, collaborations, our culture, our community, gente, right? All of the things. So thank you so much for being here today and joining me on this wonderful day for FRIDA Festival. So let's get to it. Tell us a little bit about you, because this is my first time meeting you, and I want people to know you just because I've heard your name in the community. I've heard what you do, but let's inform the people out there that might not know about you. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thank you so much for having me here on your show. Again, my name is Baldemar Rodriguez. Call me Balde Baldemar Rodriguez. I work with the Alley Theater, and I sit on different boards in the community. And I sit on the board, and I'm prepared to sit on the board of the FRIDA Festival.
Right.
It's the 18th annual FRIDA Festival, and so we created a partnership with Alley Theater, and that's what I'm really excited about today. It's the 18th annual FRIDA Festival, and it's 2 years in the making, right?
Yes.
And I remember coming to them early on, when I was younger, and the initial stages and how it has grown by leaps and bounds, and really engaging the community, sharing the culture and the tradition, and the meaning of it, keeping the colorfulness of what FRIDA is, the tradition of what FRIDA is, and the painting and history and whatnot. For me, I'm the manager of community partnerships, soy el gerente de asociaciones comunitarias at Alley Theater. And what does that mean? It means that my position is going out into the community, letting them know about Alley Theater, letting them know that this is a welcoming theater, that this is your theater. Houston has changed so dramatically from 20 years ago. So many different groups have decided to come and live here, so we're like a melting pot of all these different folks of different backgrounds, different cultures, different heritage. So for me to be able to work for an organization that really wants to hold in all these different flavors, and it's so exciting for me.
Yeah, and I'm excited because this was the first, well, actually last year was the first year I got to go to a Zocalo, a play. It was, I guess, sponsored or presented. Y'all were the main presenters from the Alley Theater, which was What a Christmas. If you did not watch it last year, it was wonderful. So that was my first introduction to y'all and to what y'all do. And I actually have gone to the FRIDA Festival before, but just a few times. And has it always been here, though? Has it always been
No, it's been in different places. It's been in the East End. It's been in Discovered Green area. I mean, it's just been in so many. I mean, and obviously the partnership that FRIDA Festival has with Mayra, now it was just so fitting to be able to have it here.
Yeah.
People know it in the community. They know the space for the muertos. They know the space for developing talents and by keeping the culture folkloric, mariachi music, art, all that. But you mentioned at Zocalo. Thank you so much for mentioning that. So I want to go ahead and just give a little history of it. Zocalo is the Latino Theater Initiative of Adriana.
Okay.
And it was launched in 2017 with the overall goal to be able to nurture relationships with different communities. with different community organizations, arts organizations, schools, to foster and to engage with those communities so that we can be able to tell our stories. We are in a storytelling industry, right? We tell a story in 90 minutes or 2 hours, in a play, but we also do workshops. We also do poetry slams. We also do primer verlo, which is a first draft where we go to the community and we say, tell me your story. What ignites you?
Right.
Tell me a story of how you got into this country.
And we need those stories to be told. So thank you so much. I really appreciate that. We need those stories to be told. Some of the goals for Zocalo this year. Do y'all have some goals this year?
Well, the goal is to continue to let the community know. When people from, let's say, Latinos that don't speak Spanish, they have never heard, or African Americans that live in different areas that are not in downtown, they're not used to coming to downtown.
Right.
All these different groups. Our ultimate goal is to let them know we're here and let them know that this is your theater.
Yeah.
This is a welcoming space.
Yeah.
And we want to tell you a story. We are committed to bring out those stories, to tell you stories, to produce programs that are relevant to diversity.
Yes.
I
really appreciate that because I grew up as a kid. This is a fun fact, y'all. As a kid, I was in plays. I was always in plays. I did singing and I did a little bit of dance, but I was in plays. I was always in theatrics as a young kid. So it's good to know that y'all have a space here in the community that's welcoming and letting people know, because not everybody has that experience and not everybody has that opportunity. I was blessed to be in a system where they offer plays. Not every school does that. So, but as far as the FRIDA Festival today, and you said you're the president, correct?
I'm one of the board members.
Oh, one of the board members. I'm sorry.
So we have about 20 board members
Okay.
from different areas, different organizations from different sectors in the community.
Yeah. Well, there's one of the things I wanted to ask all of the guests that are going to be on today. We're going to have multiple guests coming and chatting and sitting with us and talking about y'all's experiences. But one of the things is it's a FRIDA festival, right? So as a FRIDA lover, what are some qualities that FRIDA has that you aspire to be like?
Well, to be able to be vibrant. To be able to, you can't help but all of a sudden, like if you were to walk in a FRIDA room, you start seeing all these different colors. And these are colors that are so significant to Mexico. When you go in the house, so you see the FRIDA red, the FRIDA green, the FRIDA, it's to me what I, growing up in Mexico and then coming to this country, to be able to maintain that culture and tradition in the way that we in our homes,
Yes.
and the way that we eat,
The way that we dress.
the way that we dress.
Yes.
I mean, just like all that is just so. The culture, the tradition that's behind that is so important to be able to maintain and to pass on to the next generation. You mentioned when we were talking about, you're going to being in place and all of these different activities, theatrical activities. You know what that does to us as people? It makes us more. We're just more passionate, we're just more sympathetic, we're just more understanding, we approach life in such a different way. Our department, the Zocalo, sits in the education and community engagement, which means that a big scope of our partnership with the FRIDA Festival is that we want to take the culture and tradition of FRIDA and go a step further, go into the schools. Like we just finished doing a poetry workshop.
Yeah.
With the Beaven.
Yeah.
Amazing. And he was able to say, okay, the fearless woman, like FRIDA, the fearless woman of like the character Elena in our play of Toledo. These are fearless women, so they're like, reach inside your heart and your mind and talk to us about the fearless woman in your life, which is your mother, your sister,
Yes.
your grandmother.
Yes.
So being able to use the inspiration of FRIDA, someone like FRIDA, and everything that that she went through, the challenges,
Yes.
and to be able to say, oh my God, that's a mirror to my family.
Yeah.
Because I had a that was like that. My mother, she, a mother always has money, and you're like, how did she come up with money? She's
Always
working.
figures it out, right?
Yeah. So and I was like, she was selling raspas, she was snow cones, she was selling candy, she was selling things out of her house to make that. That's the purest woman that went out there and she faced the challenges that we have when we come to this country.
Yeah,
And to make a better life for us. So all of that's what we do. With paintings, with Frida
Her
did not
art.
have any kids, and so the love for animals,
Yes, yeah.
and all of that it's so mirrors what we live right now with our parents. With
I love everything you're saying because I love that she's also her legacy is still being told and her culture because she was from Mexico and so her culture is transcending. It's not just in Mexico, it's now here in the United States. And I love that. And I love that you're sharing that and I love that you're making sure that the community is a part of that and keeping our culture because as a third generation Mexican American, like I'm still in my heart, I'm Latino, I'm Mexican because that is my roots. That's where I come from. And so I really appreciate everything you shared with us today. Any last words because we do have some other guests coming on, so I want to make sure.
I just want to, at LA Theater, we are committed to creating programs that are relevant to our community. We have two programs. We have like Coming Torera, about a young woman who wants to be a boat rider. So the challenges and all that adversity she has to face.
Right.
And then we're going to have American Mariachi. It's about a woman that wants to start a female mariachi band.
Oh, yes.
So these are, like, we're elevating women. One thing that I want to share with you is that the fact that I, was invited to be part of the FRIDA board and graciously went in there and supported it with all the different issues that I carried through the partnership for Alley Theater was why to elevate our women,
Yes.
our mothers, our sisters, And for me, it's simple. I do not have no mother. My mother, she's in heaven. And one thing that she always said is like, make sure that you respect women, your sister, your cousin.
Yes.
And that is so important.
Yes.
And so what Frida does is puts a mirror to all the wonderful things that we do.
Yes.
To elevate our women and to keep that culture.
And your mom is, I'm sure, very proud of you right now. I'm sure she's so proud of you because the energy and the love that you have for what you're doing right now, it just speaks volumes. So I really appreciate you being on here and being one of my first guests for the FRIDA Festival today. Yo, this is my first time here. I'm super honored. I'm super excited to be here. And Balda, thank you so much for everything that you've shared with us today. And if you're missing this, no worries. We will share it again later so you can make sure you get all the information. And we'll make sure to let you know as well where we're sharing that as well, okay? So it was so nice to meet you. Gracias, gracias. And we're going to go for a quick break, okay?
My name is Lucia Rodriguez, and I am the owner of world famous Second Life. So the concept came in 2020. We actually started in 2021. We had always talked about building a business for our son Damon, who is on the autism spectrum. We wanted to provide a place for him that he can be included and involved and actually work here. For us as parents, we always wonder what's going to happen to our child whenever we're gone and we can't take care of him anymore. But now he kind of has his own establishment that's going to be in his name that will take care of him for the rest of his life. So we're located right here inside the Ironworks building at 711 Milby Street. One way that you can support is just by coming by, buying a sandwich, saying hi. And even if you don't do that, if you just want to come talk to somebody, we feel like that we can relate to you. We feel that if you're a family living on the spectrum or have somebody with special needs, that we can actually engage in conversation with you. So the way you support me, I support you. It's just a full circle here at Second Slice. Autism is not a disability, it's an ability to be different, and we really have to keep that in mind as a society. It would make tremendous progress. There we go, round, cut.
I'm sorry, I realized I was muted. We are live right now. We are getting our next guest. As soon as we find our next guest, we'll be back on it, but give us a short little minute to make sure. Thank you for everybody that has been watching and joining us today. You can watch this live stream on Facebook, YouTube, or later on Instagram. So thank you so much for joining us. For those that are on, we are waiting for our next guest at this moment. So stay tuned, and we're going to take a quick little, we're going to mute the mic for a minute so we can find our next guest. Sorry, guys. Thank you so much. We are still waiting for our guest. If you don't know where we're at right now, we are located right here at the 1900 King Street here in Houston, Texas. We're here at the FRIDA Festival. This is the inside location that we're at, but they have the festival all outside as well. They've got wonderful artisans, vendors, musics, activities for the children. So please come out if you have a chance. They're going to be here till 7, I believe. So you're definitely going to want to take a chance to have that opportunity to come out and celebrate FRIDA Festival and support the local community out here. Thank you so much. Okay. All right, thank you all so much. We had to find our next guest, which is actually Mayra Zamora. So thank you so much, Mayra, for hopping here. We're live, y'all. This is live, unedited, nothing. Like we're in the experience of all of this. So for those of y'all who don't know, Mayra Zamora is an award-winning Chicana artist here at the FRIDA Festival. She's also selling her wonderful art and pieces as well, so you definitely want to check her out if you come out here today. And we're going to talk a little bit about your inspirations and what you do. So thank you so much.
No, thank you for having me. Anytime I get to talk to Zamora, I was like, you ask any questions
Ooh,
you want.
yes, I love it. Thank you so much. So tell us a little bit about your art, and for those who might not know or about your art or what you do.
Right. So as you did a wonderful introduction, so I like to say I'm Mayra Zamora. I'm a Chicana artist, muralist, educator, y mucho más. So I'm very much inspired by pre-Columbian art, Latinx art, but a lot of people don't know this, which I can actually say online today live, is I'm inspired by all different cultures, especially all art that is indigenous to any culture.
Right. I love that. My mom has always been a collector of art, so she has a lot of artists in her home that are maybe not well known, but it's like these wonderful Latino artists that come around and do things. We're having some technical difficulties. Give us a second here. Okay.
My mom. She's like, can I take pictures? Like, yeah.
Yes. Sorry, guys. We had some technical difficulties in the background here.
Always, girl. Always.
Yes. But this is live, so they are aware. They know what I do. This is, I guess, my movida. This is the way I do things. But yeah, I love that so my mom collects art. And if you're joining us, thank you so much for joining us. We're here at the FRIDA Festival with Mayra Zamora. Thank you so much for joining us. But so I love, I've seen some of your work and the colors. I love the inspiration. I love that we have more Latino artists that are able to express themselves in all ways. Right. And also,
But I want to stop you there, but that's the thing about Mecca as well, that they're doing it, not only inspiring the Latino cultures, but it's multicultural. And what I love about the FRIDA Fest too is like even non-Latinos can come and celebrate with us, because our cultura is para todos, it's for everyone. We want everyone to come in, and what's the thing that we do most best? We throw good pachanga.
So yeah, party. So one of the things though I love about FRIDA is she has definitely brought some of those cultures in, right? A lot of people didn't know about FRIDA in the United States, but recently, over the last probably 10, 15 years, FRIDA has been more well-known here in this community as far as the United States. But a lot of people also don't know why we're so inspired. So what are some things that FRIDA Kahlo, the person,
first of all,
inspires you?
She's a selfie queen, the original selfie queen.
There we go.
FRIDA, if you think about it.
Okay.
And
she
also,
took all her paintings for herself.
That's all they were. They were self-portraits.
Yeah.
And what I love about FRIDA is that she owned who she was. She was unapologetically Frida Kahlo. Yeah. And especially cuando Diego andaba de puro novio, Frida was like, you know what? I'm going to go have relationships with whoever I want. That's what I mean. She knew who she was. Yeah. And I think why people like her so much is because she was unafraid.
Yes. And unapologetic and very just owned herself.
Right. And now what I love about most, and I hope Diego's in, I hope Diego's like, man, everybody knows Frida, because everybody knows Frida. But back in the day when you're talking about, because Diego was part of the three gran muralistas there, Orozco, Siqueiros, and Frida was always there. But guess what? Who had more attention back in the day? It was Diego. Also because of machismo. Yes. And that's why Frida, just like, she was just going for it, and she never cared. But a little tristeza, a little sadness was Frida was like, she was never able to have children. Yes. That's why she had all her animales. Have you ever been to the Casa Azul?
No, I haven't. It's definitely something that I need to go to.
Yeah.
I have been a Frida fan because of my mother, because she's also been a fan of her, but I've never really dived deep into her. But I believe I'm a Frida inspired person as well, just because I love what she represents, the independent woman, the woman that's not going to stay to the society of what you should be doing, right? She couldn't have children, yet she was still owning what she did. And so, and you know, we as a community have to understand women come in all ways, right? And we all experience different things. There is no like, hey, this is how to be a Latina woman, right? You, whatever Latina woman you want to be, might not be the same as me, right? But we own it.
Yeah, and especially when you say the term, even the term Latina.
Yeah.
When you say the word Latina, what does that mean?
Yeah.
And you're talking about 22 different countries that the media term as Latino, Latina, Latinx, Latini, whatever you want to call yourself. But I think it's so vast and it's so broad. There's so many of us. But the one thing that all Latinos have in common, whether you're Puerto Rican, Cuban, is that we're all about family, pasión, and the cultura.
Yes, for sure. I definitely have a passion for what I do, and we definitely want to make sure people can find you and follow you. Where can they find you?
Oh yes, so I'm most active on Instagram, so I'm at Mayra Art, so just find me and you can see all of my art on there as well, because I'm also a visual artist, but I'm also a well-known muralist in Corpus Christi. So if you're going to Corpus, go see my work.
I love Corpus. Corpus is a beautiful place. Is words of wisdom or last words you want to give to inspiring artists, women out there that are young girls that are aspiring to be an artist, or maybe they're doing some drawings and they go, oh, this is not, maybe they don't think it's anything.
Chica, that's one of my favorite questions to be asked, because my always say is the journey is hard, but the thing, your dreams are. It's not overnight. Or like anybody who's an art, they may have made it overnight, but they have been doing it for many years. So this is not my first rodeo, and it will not be my last rodeo too. So I'm only, like I tell my students, I'm only getting started. Even though I'm 36, but I'm still on my way up.
I'm 40 and I just started 3 years ago, so it's never too late. It's never too late.
Never.
So definitely, I appreciate that. I love your energy.
Thank you.
I love your passion, because I'm the same way. You know, we have to make sure our voices are heard. People are listening to us and understanding our stories, and being able to just connect with us in some form or fashion, and to find our tribe.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for, a Latina artist or an artist that you want to connect with, here's one right here.
Hit me up and DM me too, especially if you're young and you want advice. I will gladly help you, because what I like to do is pay it forward, because I kind of discovered this by myself. I didn't have someone holding my hand. I was literally there with the shovel, paving the road for whoever's next, because I want to make it easier for the next generation coming up.
Yes. So, again, we're here at the FRIDA Festival, which is at 1900 Kane Street. We're going to be here till 7 o'clock, or at least they will. I know you will, Mayra. You'll be here till 7, and you'll be able to meet her and purchase any art from her. Definitely come out if you have nothing to do. You want something to do. We're here in Houston. It's a beautiful day. It's a little windy, but it's a beautiful day. And thank you so much, Mayra. We really appreciate it. We're gonna get our next guest on, but we like to say let's vamonos around here. So we'll see you all in a little bit.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, what's up? I'm Daniel Benavides, owner of H&S Apparel Company. H&S is a small business, Hispanic-owned, based out of Houston, Texas. Our brand was inspired by the ones with a plan, a purpose, a vision, the ones with no excuses, and know that the hustle never stops. You can find us on Instagram at hns_apparel, or on our website at hustleneverstopsapparel.com. And we also offer a pickup option at our gym if needed.
Hey, we're waiting on our next guest to come on, so give us a few minutes. But our next guest will be Beaven, owner of La Cuchara. All right, we've got our wonderful guest here. Let me see, scooch it over. There we go, so we get us both in. Our next guest, y'all, because we're live, we're doing this like really like something different here. I've never done this before. I'm interviewing multiple guests all at once here at the FRIDA Festival. So thank you so much. Our next guest today is Beaven. There we go. And for those that don't know, we're here at the FRIDA Festival. She's also the owner. You are the owner of Cuchara?
Correct.
All right. Awesome. So I've been to Cuchara before, and I love it. It was wonderful. It was delicious when we went. I had no idea it was owned by a Latina woman.
Oh, but yes, it is. I'm from Mexico City.
Yes. So tell us a little bit about your restaurant for those that maybe don't know, and tell us a little bit of your inspiration about starting. I know you got Cucharita, which is the breakfast, the breakfast space. We've actually been there as well for a private event, actually. So that was really fun. But tell us a little bit about you.
So, well, I really missed my food, living in the U.S. for so long, and I started playing with the idea of opening a restaurant of the food that I miss, that I crave. I never go to Mexico craving any chef's food. I crave my mom's, my grandma's, my aunt's,
So our kitchen is all women from Mexico. Any age from 24 to 67. We have all these women from different parts of Mexico cooking every day, fresh, no walk-in cooler, no frozen anything. And now with Cucharita, it's the extension of Cuchara after 10 years of being open. And Cucharita is a breakfast and lunch place with a bakery. So we bake all the fresh, amazing breads from Mexico. We also have a fantastic coffee program. We have fresh juices and cocktails. As of 7 a.m. we serve cocktails.
Oh, that's great. I'm going to have to come and get a mimosa or a sangria. You have sangria as well?
We can make you a sangria, yes.
Yeah, awesome. So I was reading a little bit about you, about what you done, but you didn't start out in the restaurant business from the beginning, from the get-go. Your background is actually in, I believe, is it a visual?
Yeah, I was working in retail doing more than anything visuals for stores. Like I would do the windows and understand the demographics of a certain store to make sure the window was appropriate. So that was my job. And I started working in a restaurant to help a friend, and I loved it so much I stayed for almost 7 years, and then I decided to open my own with the food that I was missing.
Yes, yes. So what part of Mexico are you from?
I'm from Mexico City.
Mexico City. I'm a third generation Mexican American, but my mom was actually born in San Luis Potosí.
Oh, my dad is from San Luis Potosí.
So she always is trying to get me to go over there because the cultura there is so beautiful. It's the food and everything is just, it's so different. So I'm hopefully this year we'll go and get a taste of that.
You have to go to San Luis Potosí. It's fantastic.
Yes. And so, but we're here at the FRIDA Festival. Have you ever, as far as an inspiration of FRIDA, have you been inspired by some of her works in the past, or do you use any of her inspirations in your restaurant?
Well, we have honored a lot of Frida Kahlo moments. I guess we used to do dinners on her birthday. You know, her favorite foods, and we would explain to people who she was and what she liked. And since we met Lisbeth, we started partnering with her to do events, you know, Frida and Diego for Valentine's, or dinner, Frida's favorites, or Frida and the Animals, tropical. So we just started playing with the idea because, I mean, she's a great artist and very known. And we have to ride this wave of the momentum that she's had in the world. I think it's really powerful. And of course, our restaurant wants to represent all sorts of Mexican parties and ideas, and she's certainly a big part of that.
Oh, for sure, for sure. As far as what she's brought to this community, especially here in the United States, you know, a lot of people know Frida in Mexico, but she's starting to gain her notoriety here, especially in the United States. But a lot of people don't know about her persona as much. Some of her, what has inspired some of her personas, like her, how do I say this? I'm having a Spanglish moment in my head. How do you say, what is, as her persona has inspired you, what is it something that you do to kind of put out there in the world?
Well, I guess just being unique, being brave.
Yeah.
You know how many times people have asked me, like, oh, if you say you're the chef, if you put a chef's jacket and let me take a photo, you'll be on the top. I'm like, why would I lie? Why would I not be myself? I have amazing cooks. As I said, all moms from Mexico. I'm super proud of the fact. And I would never disguise myself as a chef and like, you know, taking photos. So I guess it comes with being unique. No matter who you are, but just being true to yourself.
Yeah, and that's what Frida did, right? She was her own person.
Yeah.
And I love that. I respect that too, right? Because, like you said, if you did those things, it would be not true.
Exactly.
But it like they said, it could put you in this level, right?
Yeah.
And that's not really
the level I am with my cooks and being super proud of them is the level that I want to be. I don't want more by lying.
So I love that you have an all-female kitchen. So
they're all crazy. In a good way.
they didn't
They're all
do that.
crazy.
Was that on purpose?
Yes.
Okay, and may I ask why? Like, what is?
Because I crave female cooking. You know, like my grandma makes the best salsas. My grandma is 94 and she's still the best cook I've ever met.
Yeah.
So if you go to a famous restaurant with a famous chef, but you look in the kitchen, mayoras are the ones cooking. If you go to the market and you eat in the best quesadilla stand, the guy may be charging, but the woman making the quesadillas is the one that has the flavors, the one that knows how to do it. So I was playing with this idea of having an all-female staff, and it was actually very easy to put it together once I decided that was the way.
It's very brave, though. It's very brave because we have so many personalities.
I know. That's what I'm telling you, that they're all crazy in a good way, and they're all very protective of their own recipes or the way they do a salsa or the way they do something. So if one goes on vacation, as soon as she comes back, who made the salsa while I was gone? Did they fry the peppers? They're
so funny. But I can relate to, you said your mother was an amazing cook. So my grandmother was an amazing tamale maker. She made homemade tamales most of her life, and she never wanted to give us the recipe, right? Or she didn't really, it was a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And so we luckily kind of watched her enough to be able to get it.
Yeah.
But we just, the work that she would put in the kitchen. I admire any woman who makes with her hands to feed and to provide food for her family, because that's the most important work to do. And it's just and it's also so loving too. It's a loving way to be able to.
It is. In my case with our cooks, they not only cook with the passion to keep the recipe intact, but they also cook with love. They're like, oh, this is healthier, and for people, instead of eating this salsa that is fried, this is a salsa where we boil everything. They always have that touch of motherhood to infuse into the kitchen, into the foods they prepare. Or if we have a client that is vegan or with a specific diet and they announce it, we talk to the cooks, and they usually even come out to talk to the client, like, okay, what is it you don't like? Are you sure? Sometimes I'm like, oh my God, no, please don't. But because that's how a mother is. Like, you have to eat your veggies, you have to eat this. So that's, they
I grew up, you never say it's bad.
No, exactly. You don't complain about anything, and they take it to that level of where people get a little freaked out at first, but then they understand where it comes from, and they end up trying something new. And I mean, it's just a labor of love on their part.
Well, you're a very inspiring woman, especially a woman here in the Houston area. I really admire you for all the work that you've done to make sure that our culture as Latinos is made by the women that you know and represent the culture in Mexico as well.
Yeah.
Any words of inspiration you give to other women out there, entrepreneurs or Latinas that are looking to do big things like you?
Well, get really organized. Be super proper, be super conservative with your money.
I love that.
Be conservative because it's so easy to spend, and it's so easy to give, and it's so easy to believe in people that try to scam you. So just be extremely organized and very careful with money.
I love
you can
that.
go a long way if you don't fall for strange situations.
That's some great advice. Honestly, that's the best advice I've heard in a long time, because a lot of us think that we have to spend or we have to work with certain people that might give us money, right? And so great advice. I really appreciate it. Well, as y'all know, we're here at the FRIDA Festival here at 1900 King Street. Come out. They're going to be here till 7. Thank you so much, Ana, for being a guest here and sharing a little bit about your story. And if you haven't gone to Cuchara, what are you waiting on?
And Cucharita.
And Cucharita, yes.
It's so pretty.
Yes.
It's like a dollhouse.
Yes, I'm going to have to come back. Like I said, we went for a private event, but we hadn't had a chance to go on a regular day.
You're going to love it.
Yes.
Bring your mom.
Yes, I'll definitely bring her up. Well, we'll be back. Stay tuned for our next guest. Thank you.
My name is Lucia Rodriguez, and I am the owner of world famous Second Slice. So the concept came in 2020. We actually started in 2021. We had always talked about building a business for our son, Jamin, who is on the autism spectrum. We wanted to provide a place for him that he can be included and involved and actually work here. For us as parents, we always wonder what's going to happen to our child whenever we're gone and we can't take care of him anymore. But now he kind of has his own establishment that's going to be in his name that will take care of him for the rest of his life. So we're located right here inside the Ironworks building at 711 Milby Street. One way that you can support is just by coming by, buying a sandwich, saying hi. And even if you don't do that, if you just want to come talk to somebody, we feel like that we can relate to you. We feel that if you're a family living on the spectrum or have somebody with special needs, that we can actually engage in conversation with you. So the way you support me, I support you. It's just a full circle here at Second Slice. Autism is not a disability, it's an ability to be different, and we really have to keep that in mind as a society. It would make tremendous progress. There we go, round cut.
Okay, thank you to our wonderful guests. Let's see if we can get this. We are here live with Adriana.
We're live at the Q&A.
Yes, girl, we're live. We're here at the FRIDA Festival. This is our next guest. We hope to be able to share a little bit about you today. Hopefully, we don't get not canceled, but it has a cutoff point. I don't know what it is, but we're gonna talk. If we have to come back on, we'll come back on.
Okay.
But thank you so much, Adriana, for being here. I'm really excited because some of y'all don't know we've been kind of communicating back and forth for a while. We've kind of connected. I guess we connected during COVID.
Yes.
Yeah, during COVID, and so she is a wonderful creator, artist. You have all kinds of things that you bring to the table. You're always bringing wonderful artisan works as well. So tell us a little bit that don't know maybe about you. Tell us a little bit about what you do.
So I'm Adriana Alaniz from Barrio, Antigua, and I started my business 20 years ago with my family. And we had a huge storefront in the Heights for 15 years. It was one of the largest shops of its kind in the Heights area. And then after 15 years, we decided to close our doors. We were tired, we were exhausted. The transition, everything, a lot of changes happened in the Heights. I took a 2-year silence. So I got off social media, took a break from everything. And then when I decided to come back, I decided to, find a new path, something different. And during that time is when we discovered that my son had congenital heart defect. And so that's where my business took a turn to nothing but hearts.
Yeah.
Hearts and wings.
Yeah.
And so that's what I've been doing since
Corazones.
Puros corazones. Like this piece right here, puros corazones. This is from Paulina, by the way. And so that's kind of where I'm at right now. And Lisbeth and I have been friends for, I don't know, since I had my storefront, so now like 20 years.
Yeah.
And so, oh my God. I know she's calling me.
She's probably like, what's going on?
Yes.
But we're so excited to have Adriana here today because, for one, this is FRIDA Festival, and a lot of her works are very colorful and vibrant, and the corazon, as FRIDA uses also in a lot in her her art as well. I got people texting me as well.
I know, my phone is like, my mom is like...
Everybody's texting.
I know.
But we want to hear a little bit about, like, so FRIDA is the theme today, right, for FRIDA Festival?
Yes.
Some of her works and the way she is and her persona has inspired a lot of people. As far as you, how has she inspired you?
Well, FRIDA, I've known about FRIDA since I had the storefront because I used to bring a lot of art of FRIDA. And it really started with Botero, Diego Rivera. But, I mean, I love everything that she brings to the table, everything that she's done in her past, kind of that pain, depression, sadness, because she was so original. She didn't hide her feelings, like she was out there. And I think people hide their feelings. People, they showcase something about that, oh, my life is perfect, my life is great. They hide behind this social media. And she didn't. I mean, she was very open about her feelings, and she put it on the painting. And that's kind of how you connect, because we're not always happy. Yeah. We have our sad moments, and that's what she shown in her painting. That was the truth. That was what she was going through.
Yeah, for sure. She was definitely an originalist. I mean, there's
self-portrait artist.
Yeah, self-portrait artist. She's one of a kind, and when you really look at her art too, the pain that she puts in her art as well, right? We all want to be happy, right? Yes. We all want to be happy, but we know that every day isn't always happy, right? We go through those struggles, we go through challenges in our life, like you said, you found out about your son, and I'm sure those have brought challenges. But what has pushed you through being able to also incorporate your business and your son as well? What has pushed you through?
Well, I think connecting with the audience, knowing what I'm bringing to the table, what my pieces are about. So the question was yesterday when they asked me, how do people follow you? How do people connect with you? Well, they're not connecting only with your pieces. They're connecting with the person behind the brand. So it's how I do it is, sharing with the audience what I'm going through. Happy, bad, sad moments. I try to share that with, because it's too much information. But I think if you hold back, people are going to be like, that's not your true self. You're not being authentic to your audience. That's kind of how I try to connect with the audience, and that's how my brand is. So
Yeah.
I think I lost the question somewhere.
No. But how you push through is you connecting with your audience.
So I share with the people what I'm going through. So yeah.
And I think that's wonderful. It's very, I don't know what the right word to say is, but the fact that you have been drawn to Heart Square previously, and then this now it has a whole new meaning to it now, right? And you're an advocate for your son and for people that have congenital heart disease.
Especially for pediatric, for children, because children do not have a voice. They do not know how to express themselves. If something is wrong, if they're feeling sick or they're feeling dizzy, kids don't know how to express that. Versus adults, we're like, oh, we have a headache, or we're not feeling well. So I'm an advocate for children. So I am part of the American Heart Association. We doing the walk. So I'm on the board of several, American, anything that's related to the heart issues, especially more for pediatrics.
Yeah, and I love that because as Latinas as well, we need a voice, right? Because there's so many people that are probably have gone through experiences like you, but maybe don't see that connection, or they can't have somebody that can relate to, right? And you're definitely that interperson, that connector, to be able to do so by sharing the story.
Well, I share the story, but I haven't been able to do anything for 2 years since my son's diagnosis because, like I said, I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready to participate, to do those activities because I was still trying to deal with my son's issues. Being in the hospital, doctor visits, when is the next heart surgery? So those are the things. So I'm finally going out there and doing those things and trying to bring other people, because people are still mourning or grieving that news. Though you have your child with you, but it's a diagnosis and you're like, are we going to be able to get through this? It's a question you ask yourself, especially for a child. They're just starting to live. They're just starting their lives, and you're like, this is not fair. But you have to push through, and you have to be the voice for that child or for those parents that they don't know what to do. How to respond to that.
But we, as parents, we sometimes we have to be the advocates, right? All for everything. So I admire you because I couldn't imagine being in your place and knowing what it's like to have a sick child. But I know that you are the amazing woman that you are.
Thank you.
To be able to do so. Like they say, God gives us things that we can handle and push through. So I definitely think you're going to be a great advocate for your son and other people out there that are going through that. So don't think that your voice is too small.
Thank you.
Your voice is definitely shining through. And I see all the work you do on social media as well, y'all.
I try.
So if y'all would like to follow Adriana, you can follow her at
Barrio Antigua, Houston, and Instagram, Barrio Antigua Design. So yes, Facebook as well.
And then for those that haven't had a chance to watch today or haven't joined us today, no worries. We'll be sharing this throughout the following week. So if you're not out here, you're missing out. But we'll be sharing these wonderful conversations that we've had all day today with these guests that were presented to us by the FRIDA Festival organization. So it was such an honor to finally get a chance to sit with you.
We've been talking about this. We've gone back and forth. And so when we were doing this, I told Liz, we need to bring her. We need to bring her.
Thank you.
I'm so happy you did.
I'm so honored. Thank you so much because this is new to me. I'm really getting out of my box, and I want to come to more places and spaces like this. So if y'all are definitely I guess, breaking that barrier for myself.
For you and for all these other sponsors. So I brought in all these other people that I didn't know this existed or this was happening. It was like, well, we welcome everyone. We want to build these bridges and connect with each other. And so, such a big city. It's worth it.
We're going to continue to do that. We're going to continue to share your voices as well. We really appreciate it. So thank you all so much for joining us today. Like I said, we'll be sharing clips and highlights of all the things that are going on here at the FRIDA Festival. Stay tuned. Go check out my Instagram stories because we're going to go outside of here and see all the things